I should have walked past that dumpster. God knows I'd seen enough heartbreak for one day. But then I heard it, three tiny cries cutting through the rain like prayers nobody else wanted to answer. When I pulled back that soaked blanket, three pairs of eyes stared up at me, and in that moment, I became a mother to children the world had thrown away. I just didn't know their father was worth billions, or that saving them would cost me everything. Before we dive into Faye's incredible journey, please hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss a single part of this story. And comment below with your city. I love seeing how far these stories travel around the world. Now let's begin. The worst decisions we make are the ones we'd make again in a heartbeat. November 2019. Faye Chen was 26, broke and running on 2 hours of sleep when she found them. 14-hour shift. Double because Sandra called in drunk again. Feet screaming. Head pounding. Rain coming down in sheets. She almost didn't hear them. The crying started soft like a wounded cat behind the Korean grocery dumpster. Faye stopped. Listened. That wasn't a cat. She ran. Behind the dumpster, shoved in the gap where garbage water pooled, sat a wicker basket. Inside, 3 babies. Newborns. Maybe 3-4 days old. Blue lips. Shaking. Soaked through. Oh God. Oh my God. Faye grabbed the basket. 2 boys, 1 girl. No note. No bottles. Just a wet blanket and 3 dying babies. Her phone was in her hand. 911. That's what you do. Call the cops. Call child services. Her finger froze. She'd seen the system. Worked in that hospital for 4 years. Seen 6-year-olds with dead eyes. Seen siblings ripped apart. Seen babies warehoused in homes with 20 other kids. The little girl locked eyes with her. Even crying, even cold, those eyes held something that punched straight through Faye's chest. She tucked the basket inside her jacket and ran home. Matai. 5 years later. Across the city. Mr. Donnelly, can you hear me? Harrison Donnelly's eyes opened to white ceiling tiles and the smell of disinfectant. His head felt like it was splitting open. Where? His voice cracked. Where's Emma? The doctor's face went carefully blank. Mr. Donnelly, you've been in a coma for 5 years. There was an accident. Your wife. I'm very sorry. She didn't survive. The room tilted. And my children. The triplets. Silence. The doctor glanced at someone behind him. We don't know. After the accident, they disappeared. We've been searching. Harrison tried to sit up. Disappeared. What does that mean? Mr. Donnelly, please. My children are missing. We're doing everything we can. Harrison's heart monitor started screaming. Nurses rushed in. Someone pushed sedative into his IV. As the drugs pulled him under, one thought circled his mind. Find them. Find them. Find them. November 2019. Faye's apartment. 2 a.m. Are those babies? Ari stood in the bathroom doorway, controller still in his hand, eyes huge. Lock the front door, now. Faye was already running warm water in the sink. Then get to the 24-hour drugstore. Formula bottles, diapers. Go. Faye, we need to call. I know. After we warm them up, please, Ari, they're freezing. He went. 30 minutes later, 3 babies wrapped in towels, 1 brother at the drugstore, and Faye sitting on the bathroom floor realizing she'd just kidnapped 3 children. Except she hadn't kidnapped them. She'd saved them. Right. The door opened. I got stuff. Also, Mom's awake. Faye's stomach dropped. Mei Chun appeared behind Ari tying her robe. She looked at the bathroom, looked at her daughter, looked at 3 babies. Faye, what did you do? I found them in a dumpster. So you brought them here. Chen Wei stood between his wife and daughter, hands up. Everyone calm down. Calm down, calm down. May's voice could strip paint. Do we look rich? Do we look like we have room for 3 babies? They were dying, Mom. And that's our problem. You want to save the world. Start with saving yourself. Faye felt something crack in her chest. I'm taking them to child services today. I just needed to what, play hero? May's laugh was bitter. You're 26, working yourself to death at that hospital, can barely pay your own rent, and you think you can handle babies? I didn't say I was keeping them. Didn't you? The question hung there. Chen Wei moved to the basket. 3 babies sleeping now, wrapped in his family's towels. He stared for a long time. You did good, he said quietly, bringing them home safe. Now we call the authorities. Let them handle it. I'm calling my sister at the adoption agency, May announced. She'll know what to do with this mess. Faye didn't call anyone that day, or the next, or the next. 3 days became a week. She kept telling herself, tomorrow, I'll go tomorrow. But the babies had names now. The bigger boy was Cade, serious, always watching. The girl was Talia, loud, demanding, fierce. The smallest boy was Cyrus, quiet, observant, like he was studying the world. You're keeping them. Ari said it like fact, not question. I'm figuring things out. Faye. 1 more week, to make sure they're strong enough. May didn't buy it. You're not giving them up, are you? They were in the kitchen. 2 weeks since that night. Faye was heating bottles. May was glaring. I'm doing what's best for them. What's best? You work 12-hour shifts. You live in this cramped apartment. You can barely feed yourself. Other people manage. Other people have help partners. Money. What do you have? Faye turned to face her mother. I have you. The silence was crushing. No. May's voice went cold. You don't. Not for this. If you keep these babies, you're on your own. Mom, your father and I came here with nothing. Nothing. We broke our backs to give you a chance, and you want to throw it away for children that aren't even yours. They're mine now. Then get out. Faye's breath stopped. What? You heard me. You want to destroy your life. Do it somewhere else. Not in my house. May, Chen Wei started. No, I'm done. She chooses them. She leaves. Ari stepped forward. Then I'm leaving too. May spun to face her son. Excuse me. I'm not watching you kick her out for doing something decent. His jaw was set. She goes, I go. Fine. Both of you go. See how far your good deeds get you when you're starving. Faye found a 1-bedroom in the worst part of town. First month, last month, deposit every dollar she had. The apartment was a shoebox, walls thin enough to hear neighbors fighting. Mold in the bathroom, locks that barely worked. But it was hers. Ari took the couch. Faye took the bedroom with the babies. Used crib from Craigslist that wobbled. Formula diapers, bottles, everything expensive, everything necessary, everything she couldn't afford. We're going to starve, aren't we? Ari said one night. 3 a.m., both of them feeding babies. Probably. Worth it, though. Yeah. They ate ramen for 3 weeks straight. First month was war. Faye cut her hospital hours, couldn't afford childcare. Less hours meant less money. Less money meant choosing between electricity and formula. She wore the same scrubs 3 days running, slept 90 minutes at a time, fell asleep during report at work. Her supervisor cornered her. You look like death. I'm fine. You're not fine. You fell asleep during patient charting. This about those babies everyone's talking about. I can handle it. Can you? Because you're drowning. Maybe she was. She'd feed Cade and Cyrus would start screaming. Change Cyrus and Talia would need feeding. Round and round. No breaks. No pause button. Her hands shook constantly, eyes burned, body ached. Ari found her crying in the bathroom one night. "I can't do this." "Yes, you can." "No. Look at us. We're living in poverty. They deserve better than—" "Stop." He grabbed her shoulders. They were in a dumpster, in the rain, going to die. And now they're warm, fed, loved. You think they care that we're broke? They know they're safe. That's everything. But what if safe isn't enough? Safe is everything. Month 3. Talia got a fever. ER visit. Bills they couldn't pay. Month 4. Landlord raised rent. Faye picked up night shifts. Slept 4 hours a week. Month 5. The phone call. "Miss Chen, you need to come home. Now." Faye ran. 8 blocks. Heart in her throat. Found Ari in the hallway, holding all 3 babies, face white. "What happened?" "Your mom. She came with people from an adoption agency, said she'd found families for them. Rich families." His voice shook. "She's trying to take them." The world went red. "They're mine." "Are they legally?" Faye grabbed Cade, held him close. "I'm getting a lawyer. I'm making this legal. I don't care what it costs." "With what money?" She didn't have an answer. That night, laptop open, she researched adoption law. Every website said the same thing. Complicated, expensive, time-consuming. Home visits, background checks, court appearances, legal fees. Minimum cost $15,000. She had $347 in her account. From the bedroom, Cade making happy sounds, just babbling to himself. Faye went to the crib. 3 5-month-olds safe and sleeping. Cade's eyes opened. He smiled that gummy grin he'd learned last week. "We're going to be okay," she whispered. "I promise." Next morning, Faye made a decision. She was going to the police to report the abandonment. Make it official. Start the legal process. She called a legal aid clinic first. "You should have reported this 5 months ago." "I know, I was scared." "Of losing them." "Yes." "Miss Chen, if you come forward now, there will be an investigation. They'll look at your finances, your living situation. It might not go well. And if I don't, then you're committing a crime. Someone could report you for kidnapping." Faye's blood froze. "I saved them." "I believe you. But make it official. Come in tomorrow." She bundled up the babies, grabbed the stroller, headed out. Never made it to the police station. Because halfway there, she heard tires screaming. Black SUV ran a red light. Slammed into a sedan. Metal crunching. Glass exploding. People screaming. Faye's training kicked in. She parked the stroller, told a woman to watch the babies, ran toward the wreck. Sedan driver was out. Shaken, but okay. The SUV driver was slumped over. Door jammed. Faye pulled. Pulled harder. The door gave. Inside, a man. Mid-30s. Expensive suit. Blood running from his forehead. Unconscious. She checked his pulse. Weak. Breathing shallow. Head trauma. "Stay with me. Help's coming. You're going to be fine." His eyes opened for 1 second. Unfocused. Confused. Then closed. Ambulance arrived. EMTs took over, asking rapid questions. Faye answered everything. "You probably saved his life," one EMT said. "That head wound, he could have bled out." "I just did what anyone would do." "No. Most people just film and walk away. You're a hero." She wasn't a hero. She was a broke nurse with 3 stolen babies and a mother who wanted to sell them. She ran back to the stroller. Woman was still there. All 3 babies asleep. "Thank you." "No problem. That was incredible." The woman looked at the triplets. "These yours?" Faye didn't hesitate. "Yes, they're mine." She went home, too exhausted to go to the police station. Tomorrow, she told herself. Tomorrow. But tomorrow never came. Across the city. City General Hospital. Private room. The man from the SUV lay in a coma. Harrison Donnelly, billionaire, widower, father of missing triplets. In his dreams he saw his children. 3 tiny faces he'd held once before the accident, before his wife died, before everything went dark. In his dreams he searched for them. He just didn't know a broke nurse with a hero complex had already found them. Didn't know she'd saved them from death. Didn't know she loved them like they were her own blood. 5 years later, he'd wake up. He'd search. He'd find the woman who stole his children. And the woman who stole his children would be the same woman who'd saved his life. But right now in November 2019, Fei Chen just went home to 3 babies who called her mama in their babbling and thought that love was the only thing that mattered. She was wrong. Truth mattered too. And truth was coming. 5 years changed everything. The machines beeped steady. Harrison Donnelly's eyes opened to fluorescent lights and a nurse checking his vitals. His mouth tasted like metal. His body felt wrong, atrophied, weak, like it belonged to someone else. "Welcome back, Mr. Donnelly." The nurse smiled, but her eyes held something careful. "I'll get the doctor." Harrison tried to speak. His throat was sandpaper. "How long?" "5 years. You've been in a coma for 5 years." The words didn't make sense. 5 years. He remembered the car, the intersection, Emma screaming, metal twisting, then nothing. "My wife?" The nurse's smile disappeared. "I'm sorry. She didn't survive the accident." The room tilted. Emma. Beautiful, brilliant Emma, who'd just given birth to their triplets 3 days before. Gone. "And my children?" His voice cracked. "The babies." Silence. "I'll get the doctor." "Tell me now!" The doctor came. Dr. Raymond Chen, gray-haired, kind eyes hiding bad news. Harrison knew that look. He'd seen it in boardrooms right before someone told him a deal went south. "Mr. Donnelly, after the accident, your children disappeared from the hospital. We've been searching." Disappeared. Harrison tried to sit up. Alarm screamed. "What does that mean?" "Someone took them. We don't know who. The police investigated, but 5 years. Harrison's heart monitor went crazy. "My children have been missing for 5 years, and nobody told me you were in a coma. Then you wake me up. You find them, you." Nurses rushed in. Someone pushed sedative into his IV. Harrison fought it, but his body was too weak, too broken. As the drugs pulled him under, one thought burned through his mind. Someone took his children. Someone stole his babies. And he was going to find them. 6 weeks later, Harrison stood in his penthouse office, staring at a private investigator's empty report. "Nothing." His voice was dangerous quiet. "You've had 6 weeks and you have nothing." Marcus Webb, ex-FBI, shifted in his seat. "Mr. Donnelly, the trail is 5 years cold. Hospital security footage was wiped. No witnesses, no leads. Whoever took them knew what they were doing. Or the hospital is covering their incompetence. That's possible too." Harrison's hands balled into fists. 6 weeks awake. 6 weeks of physical therapy. 6 weeks of searching. And his children were still ghosts. There has to be something. Abandoned babies don't just vanish. Unless they weren't abandoned. Marcus leaned forward. What if someone rescued them? Found them, thought they were helping. Then where are they now? That's what we need to figure out. Harrison turned to the window. The city stretched below him, millions of people, any one of them could have his children. The thought made him sick. "Double your team, triple it. I don't care what it costs." "Mr. Donnelly, my children are out there. Find them." Across the city, in a cramped 2-bedroom apartment that smelled like pancakes and chaos, Faye was losing a battle with a 5-year-old. "Cade, we're going to be late." "But I can't find Mr. Whiskers." "He's in your backpack." "No, he's not." Faye grabbed the backpack, unzipped. It pulled out a stuffed cat. What's this? Cade's eyes went wide. Oh, I forgot. You forgot. Faye took a breath, counted to 5, reminded herself she loved this child. Get your shoes. Mama Talia took my princess crown. Cyrus appeared in the doorway, lower lip trembling. I did not, Talia shouted from the bathroom. He lost it, like he loses everything. I did not lose it. Did too. Did not. Faye closed her eyes. 5 years of this. 5 years of beautiful, exhausting, money-draining chaos. And she'd do it all again. Both of you living room now. They came. Eventually. Talia with the crown hidden behind her back. Cyrus with that stubborn set to his jaw that meant trouble. We're a family, Faye said, kneeling to their level. Families don't steal. They don't lie. And they definitely don't make Mama late for work. Understood. Sorry, Mama. Talia handed over the crown. Sorry, Cyrus echoed. Good. Now shoes, all of you. We leave in 3 minutes. Ari emerged from his room, tie half done. I'll drop them at school. You're already late. You sure? Yeah. Go save lives or whatever you heroes do. She kissed each kid goodbye, Cade first, because he was the oldest by 2 minutes, and took that seriously. Then Talia, who squeezed too tight, then Cyrus, who whispered, Love you, Mama, like it was a secret. Be good for Uncle Ari. We're always good, Talia announced. That's a lie, and we both know it. Faye ran. Bus was pulling up. She made it barely. Collapsed into a seat and checked her phone. 14 messages from the hospital. Great. Just great. But then a photo from Ari, 3 kids grinning at school drop-off. Her heart squeezed. Worth it. All of it. Every sleepless night. Every dollar she didn't have. Every argument with her mother, who still hadn't spoken to her in 5 years. Worth it. She just wished it didn't have to be so hard. At Metropolitan General, Sandra cornered her during lunch break. You look exhausted. I am exhausted. Those kids still running you ragged. They're 5. It's their job. Faye bit into her sandwich peanut butter again because that's all she could afford. I'm fine. You're not fine. You're 31 and you look 40. Wow. Thanks. I'm serious, Faye. When was the last time you did something for yourself? Went on a date? Had fun? I have fun. Chuck E. Cheese doesn't count. Faye laughed despite herself. The kids love it. The kids aren't the ones who need a life. They are my life. Sandra sighed. That's what I'm worried about. But Sandra didn't understand. Nobody did. Those 3 kids weren't just her life, they'd saved her life, given her purpose, made her better. Sure, she was broke and tired, and pretty sure she hadn't worn matching socks in 3 years. But she was happy, mostly. Okay, she was surviving. But that counted for something. Her phone buzzed, school calling. Ms. Chen Cade got into a fight. Of course he did. Harrison's days became routine physical therapy business meetings, private investigator updates that went nowhere. His parents flew in from London, faces creased with worry. Darling, you need to rest. His mother, Margaret, touched his arm. You're pushing too hard. My children are missing. We know, but running yourself into the ground won't find them. Neither will sitting around. Harrison pulled away. I've lost 5 years. I'm not losing more. His father, Richard, spoke from the doorway. We've hired additional investigators. International reach. If the children were taken out of the country? They weren't. Harrison's gut told him that. They're close. I can feel it. Son, it's been 5 years. Whoever took them, they might think they're doing right, might have raised them as their own. The thought made Harrison's blood run cold. Some stranger raising his children. Some stranger getting their first words, their first steps, their first everything. Then I'll take them back. It's not that simple. Yes, it is. Harrison turned to face his father. They're mine, by blood, by law, by right, and I'm getting them back." Margaret's eyes filled with tears. "What if they don't remember you? What if they've bonded with... They're my children." "But they're also 5 years old, with a whole life you weren't part of. You can't just watch me." The conversation ended there. But Harrison lay awake that night thinking about his mother's words. 5 years. His children were 5 years old, starting kindergarten, learning to read, becoming people. Without him. The rage that burned through him was physical. Whoever took them, whoever stole 5 years of his children's lives, would pay. He just had to find them first. 3 weeks later, Faye was walking to her car after a night shift when she heard it glass breaking. She spun around. A man in a hoodie was smashing a car window 2 rows over a black Mercedes, expensive, gleaming even in the parking garage's dim light. "Hey!" The man looked up. Ran. Faye didn't think. She just moved. Chased him through the garage, shouting for security. The man was fast, but Faye was desperate. That could have been her car, her stuff, and she was so damn tired of bad things happening. The man disappeared around a corner. Faye followed, heart pounding, and ran straight into someone. She bounced off him. Would have fallen if he hadn't caught her arm. "Whoa, easy!" She looked up into the face of a stranger. Tall, dark-haired, expensive suit even at midnight. The kind of handsome that belonged in magazines, not hospital parking garages. "Sorry. I'm so sorry. I was chasing. There was a guy. He was breaking into a car." "That's my car." The man's voice went hard. "Where is he?" "He ran that way." Faye pointed. "I tried to stop him, but..." Security came running. The man, the car owner, strode toward his Mercedes. Faye followed, still catching her breath. The driver's window was shattered. Glass everywhere. The man pulled out his phone, made a call, his voice clipped and controlled. "Yes. Parking garage. Break-in. Send police." He hung up. Looked at Faye. Really looked at her. "You chased him." Yeah. I saw it happening, and I just... reacted." "That was stupid." Faye bristled. "Excuse me." "He could have had a weapon. You could have been hurt." "I'm a nurse. I'm trained to help in emergencies." This wasn't an emergency. This was property crime. But his eyes softened slightly. "Though I appreciate the effort." Police arrived, took statements. Security pulled footage. The thief was gone, but the cameras caught everything, including Faye running after him, shouting. "You're either very brave or very foolish," the officer said, reviewing the footage. "She's both," the car owner muttered. Faye shot him a look. "I was trying to help." "I know. Thank you." The way he said it, genuine, surprised, made Faye pause. She studied him. There was something familiar about his face, but she couldn't place it. "Do I know you?" "I don't think so." He extended his hand. "Harrison Donnelly." The name meant nothing. She shook his hand. "Faye Chen." "The nurse who chases criminals in parking garages." "The guy who can't say thank you without being condescending." His lips twitched, almost smiled. "Fair enough. Thank you, Faye Chen. Sincerely." "You're welcome. Now if you'll excuse me, I have 3 kids to get home to, and about 4 hours before they wake up demanding pancakes." She turned to leave. "Wait." She paused. Harrison pulled out his wallet, extracted a card. "My contact information. If the police need follow-up, or if..." He hesitated. "I owe you. For trying to help. Call me if you ever need anything." Faye took the card. Heavy stock, gold lettering. CEO Donnelly Industries. A billionaire. Of course. "I'm good. But thanks." She left, threw the card in her purse, and forgot about it. She had bigger problems than rich guys with nice manners and broken windows. Like Cade's teacher calling to say he'd been fighting again. Like Talia's ballet recital she couldn't afford. Like Cyrus's nightmares that kept him up crying about bad people coming to take him away. She had 3 kids who needed her. That's what mattered. She didn't think about Harrison Donnelly again. Harrison couldn't stop thinking about her. The nurse in the parking garage, Fei Chen. Something about her face, her voice, the way she'd moved it, triggered a memory he couldn't quite grasp. Marcus, I need you to look into someone. The investigator raised an eyebrow. Who? Fei Chen, nurse at Metropolitan General. I want to know everything. This about the car break-in? No, maybe, I don't know. Harrison rubbed his temples. There's something familiar about her. You think she's involved with your children? I think I'm grasping at straws. But his gut said different. His gut said that meeting meant something. Marcus's report came back 3 days later. Harrison read it in his office, whiskey in hand. Fei Chen, 31, single. No husband, no partner. But she has 3 children. Harrison looked up. Triplets. Adopted 5 years ago, right around the time your children went missing. Harrison's heart stopped, started again, pounded. Get me everything. Birth certificates, adoption papers, photos, everything. Already working on it. The photos came first. Harrison's hands shook as he opened the file. 3 children, 5 years old. 2 boys, 1 girl. Dark hair, dark eyes. They looked like Emma. They looked like him. Oh my God. The words came out broken. That's them. Those are my children. Marcus leaned forward. Mr. Donnelly, we can't be sure. I'm sure. Harrison's finger traced the screen. The bigger boy had his jawline. The girl had Emma's nose. The smaller boy had his eyes. That's Cade, Talia, and Cyrus, my children, my babies. The adoption records are sealed. I'm working on. Break the seal, hack it, bribe someone, I don't care. Harrison stood, adrenaline flooding his system. Those are my children, and she took them. We don't know that. She's a nurse at Metropolitan General, the same hospital where my children disappeared. 5 years ago, she suddenly has 3 babies. Triplets. What are the odds? Astronomical, Marcus admitted. But we need proof, legal proof, before you do anything. I'm getting my children back. Mr. Donnelly. Now. That night, Harrison sat in his car outside Fei's apartment building. He'd gotten the address from Marcus. 4th floor building, C, paint-peeling, sketchy neighborhood. This is where his children lived. In this run-down place, rage mixed with something else. Grief, maybe, or guilt. 5 years his children had been here while he slept in a hospital bed. 5 years of poverty and struggle while his millions sat untouched. He should go up there, confront her, demand his children back. But something stopped him. He wanted to see them first, just see them. At 7:15 a.m., the building door opened. A man came out, mid-30s, tired-looking, herding 3 children. 2 boys and a girl. Harrison's breath caught. They were real. They were real. The bigger boy, Cade, was talking animatedly, hands waving. The girl, Talia, was wearing a princess dress over jeans. The smaller boy, Cyrus, held a stuffed cat close. They were beautiful. They were his. The man, Uncle, maybe loaded them into an old Honda, drove away. Harrison followed at a distance, watched them pull up to a school. Watched his children get out laughing, arguing, being kids. Watched them run toward the building and watched Fei appear at the entrance, clearly late, clearly frazzled, scooping up all 3 in a hug. She'd lied. She'd said she was going home to 3 kids. She'd stood there in that parking garage and lied to his face. She knew who he was. Had to. The name Donnelly was everywhere. She'd seen him, heard his name, and said nothing. She'd stolen his children and looked him in the eye and said nothing. Harrison's hands clenched on the steering wheel. He drove to his lawyer's office. I want full custody, immediately. The lawyer, Patricia Chang, sharp as knives, looked at the file. This will get ugly. I don't care. She's raised them for 5 years. The courts will consider that. They're mine, by blood. By law. By abandonment law, she might have a case. She kidnapped them. Patricia held up a hand. We don't know that. For all we know, she found them legally and went through proper channels. Then unseal the adoption records. Already filed the motion. But Mr. Donnelly, I need you to prepare for this to take time. Months, maybe years. No. Harrison's voice was flat. I've lost 5 years. I'm not losing more. File for emergency custody. Today. On what grounds? On the grounds that those are my children and I want them home. Patricia sighed. I'll file. But you need to be smart about this. One wrong move and just file the papers. He left. Called Marcus. I need to talk to her. Fei Chen. Set it up. That's not a good idea. I don't care. Set it up. But fate worked faster than Harrison's plans. 2 days later, Fei was at the grocery store with all 3 kids when her phone rang. Unknown number. Hello? Ms. Chen. This is Patricia Chang. I'm an attorney representing Harrison Donnelly. Fei's blood ran cold. The name, the parking garage, the man with the broken car. Okay. Mr. Donnelly would like to meet with you, regarding your children. The world tilted. I'm sorry, what? The triplets you adopted 5 years ago. Mr. Donnelly has reason to believe they're his biological children stolen from Metropolitan General after an accident that killed his wife. Fei's knees went weak. She grabbed the cart to steady herself. In the seat, Cade looked up. Mama? You okay? She couldn't breathe. Couldn't think. Ms. Chen, are you there? This is a mistake. Her voice came out strangled. My children weren't stolen. I found them. They were abandoned. In a dumpster. Left to die. Silence on the line. I see. Then you'll have no problem meeting with Mr. Donnelly to clear this up. I have every problem with it. He can't just... He's filed for emergency custody. The hearing is in 2 weeks. I suggest you get a lawyer. The call ended. Fei stood in the grocery store phone in shaking hands, 3 oblivious children asking if they could have cookies, and felt her entire world crumble. Harrison Donnelly. The man from the parking garage. The billionaire with the kind eyes and the broken window. He was their father, and he was coming to take them away. Fei didn't remember driving home. Didn't remember getting the kids in the car, buckling seatbelts, pulling out of the parking lot. Her body moved on autopilot while her brain screamed. Stolen. He said stolen, but they weren't stolen. She'd found them. Saved them. They were dying, and she'd, Mama, you're going the wrong way. Cade's voice cut through the panic. Fei blinked. She was 3 blocks past their apartment. Sorry, baby. Mama's just thinking. She turned around, hands shaking on the wheel. In the rearview mirror, 3 faces watched her with concern too old for 5-year-olds. They knew something was wrong. Kids always knew. Ari was home when they got their laptop open, working remotely. He took one look at Fei's face and stood up. Kids, go play in your room, now. But Uncle Ari... Now Talia. They went. Talia arguing the whole way, Cyrus clutching Mr. Whiskers' Cade, glancing back at Fei like he could read her mind. The door closed. Ari grabbed Fei's shoulders. What happened? He found us. The words came out broken. The father. He found us, and he's suing for custody, and he thinks I stole them, and... Whoa, slow down. Who found you? Harrison Donnelly. The guy from the parking garage. He's their biological father. Ari went pale. Are you sure? His lawyer called, said he has proof, said there's a hearing in 2 weeks. Fei's legs gave out. She sat hard on the couch. He's going to take them, Ari. He's going to take my babies. He can't. You've raised them for 5 years. The courts will see that he's a billionaire. I'm a broke nurse living in a 2-bedroom apartment. Who do you think the courts will side with? Silence, because they both knew the answer. We need a lawyer. With what money? Faye laughed high and sharp. I have $1,700 in savings. A decent lawyer costs what, 5 grand, 10, 20. Then we'll figure it out. Borrow it. Crowdfund. Something. In 2 weeks. Ari didn't have an answer. From the bedroom, Talia's voice rang out. Mama Cyrus is touching my stuff again. Faye closed her eyes. Normal. She had to be normal. For them. She stood up. We don't tell them. Not yet. Faye. Not yet. Let me figure out what we're dealing with first. That night after the kids were asleep, Faye sat at the kitchen table with her laptop and cried. Every legal aid website said the same thing. Custody battles take money, time, and proof. She had none of those things. She pulled up Harrison Donnelly's Wikipedia page, stared at his face. CEO of Donnelly Industries. Net worth $3.2 billion. Graduated Harvard. Young CEO of the Year. Philanthropist. And at the bottom, personal life. Wife, Emma Donnelly, died in car accident 2019. Donnelly was in a coma for 5 years, waking in 2024. Faye's chest tightened. He'd lost his wife, been in a coma, missed 5 years of his children's lives. But that didn't give him the right to rip apart hers. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. She almost didn't answer. Hello? Ms. Chen. It's Harrison Donnelly. Her blood froze. How did you get this number? I'm resourceful. His voice was controlled, but something dangerous lurked underneath. We need to talk. Your lawyer already? Face to face, tomorrow. I want to see my children. Absolutely not. I wasn't asking permission. And I'm not giving you access to traumatize 3 kids who don't know you exist. They're my kids. They're mine. Faye's voice rose. I've been their mother for 5 years. I've fed them, clothed them, loved them. You're a stranger. A stranger. Harrison's laugh was bitter. I'm their father. I held them when they were born. I was there when... His voice cracked. And then they were gone, stolen from the hospital while I was in a coma, while my wife was dead. Do you have any idea what that's like? Faye's throat tightened. No, but I know what it's like to find 3 babies left to die in the rain, to save them when nobody else cared. Left to die? What are you talking about? I found them in a dumpster, behind a grocery store, abandoned, freezing, starving. If I hadn't... She stopped, breathed. Look, I don't know what happened at the hospital, but when I found them, they were alone. Silence on the line. Someone took them from the hospital, Harrison said finally. Someone abducted my newborns and dumped them like trash. And you found them. Yes. And kept them. Yes. Without reporting it, without trying to find their family. I tried. I was going to the police when... She stopped. That sounded bad. Really bad. It's complicated. Uncomplicate. Tomorrow. 2 p.m. Cafe Rosewood on 5th Street. Just us. I need to talk to a lawyer first. You don't have a lawyer, I checked. His voice softened slightly. I'm not the enemy here, Ms. Chen. I just want my children back. They're scared of strangers. If you show up demanding they call you Dad, I'm not an idiot. I know this has to be handled carefully. He paused. Tomorrow, 2 p.m. Please. The please did it. The crack in his armor that told her he was as terrified as she was. Fine. But the kids stay home. Agreed. The call ended. Faye sat in the dark phone in her shaking hands and wondered how her life had become a nightmare. Cafe Rosewood was the kind of place Faye couldn't afford. White tablecloths, $18 salads, waiters in vests. She walked in wearing her best outfit, which was still clearly budget store, and found Harrison already there. Corner table. Expensive suit. looking like he owned the place, which he probably did. He stood when she approached, extended his hand. She didn't take it. Let's skip the pleasantries. Fair enough. He gestured to the chair. She sat. He sat. They stared at each other across the table like boxers before a match. A waiter appeared. Can I get you? Coffee, black. Harrison didn't look away from Faye. Water. She couldn't afford anything else. The waiter left. Tell me what happened, Harrison said. From the beginning. So she did. The night shift, the rain, the crying behind the dumpster, finding 3 newborns left to die, taking them home, fighting with her mother, moving out. 5 years of poverty and struggle and love. Harrison listened, jaw tight, hands clenched on the table. You should have reported it immediately. I know. You should have gone to the police. I know. Then why didn't you? Faye met his eyes. Because I've seen what the system does to kids. I've seen siblings separated. Babies bounced from home to home. I've seen 6-year-olds who've given up on adults entirely. She leaned forward. Your children were dying. They needed immediate care. I gave them that. And then you kept them. I fell in love with them. I'm human. I held these 3 tiny babies who were fighting to survive and Her voice broke. I couldn't let them go. Harrison's expression didn't soften. They're not yours to keep. I've been their mother for 5 years. Biology doesn't care about your feelings. And the law doesn't care about theirs. Faye's hands balled into fists. You show up after 5 years and expect them to just... What? Call you daddy, move into your mansion, forget I exist. I expect them to know their real family. I am their real family. You're the woman who stole them. I saved them. They were both standing now, shouting. Other diners stared. Harrison sat first, rubbed his face. When he spoke again, his voice was quieter. I'm sorry. This is hard. You think it's easy for me. No. I think you did what you thought was right, but that doesn't change the fact that those are my children. My blood. My responsibility. They don't know you. Then they need to meet me. They're 5. They're happy. They're stable. You can't just upend their entire... I'm not trying to upend anything. I'm trying to be their father. He looked at her, and for the first time, Faye saw past the anger to the grief underneath. I missed everything. Their first words, first steps, first day of school. I missed 5 years because someone took them from me. Someone stole them from the hospital and dumped them like garbage. Do you know who? No. The investigation went nowhere. Hospital cameras were wiped. No witnesses. His jaw clenched. But I'm going to find out. Faye's mind raced. Someone had taken 3 newborns from a hospital and abandoned them. That wasn't random. That was planned. Your wife, she said slowly. Did she have enemies? Harrison's eyes went sharp. Why? Because babies don't just disappear. Someone wanted them gone. The police investigated. There was nothing. Did they investigate thoroughly? Or did they assume a grieving widower in a coma didn't need answers? Harrison went very still. What are you saying? I'm saying someone tried to kill your children, and 5 years later nobody's asking why. The silence stretched between them, heavy, dangerous. I need to see them, Harrison said finally. My children. I need to see them with my own eyes. They'll be scared. I'll be gentle. They'll ask questions I don't know how to answer. Then we'll figure it out, together. He leaned forward. I'm not trying to take them away from you, but I can't not be their father. Can you understand that? Faye wanted to say no, wanted to refuse, but she looked at this man, this stranger who was her children's father, and saw the truth. He wasn't the enemy. He was just a man who'd lost everything. 1 meeting, she said, supervised, at my apartment, 1 hour, 2 hours. 90 minutes. Deal. They shook on it. His hand was warm, firm. When he let go, Faye felt like she'd just signed away her life. Tomorrow, Harrison said. 4 p.m. They get home from school at 3:30. Give them time to settle. 4 p.m., he repeated. Faye stood, started to leave, stopped. Mr. Donnelly. Harrison. Harrison, if you hurt them, if you make them cry or scare them, or make them feel like they're not wanted, I will fight you with everything I have. Understood. Understood. He smiled small and sad. For what it's worth, I think you're an incredible mother. My children are lucky to have you. The words hit harder than any threat. Faye blinked back tears. Tomorrow, 4 p.m., don't be late. She left before she started crying. That night, Faye tried to explain it to the kids. How did you tell 3 5-year-olds that a stranger was their real father, that the life they knew was about to explode? Guys, we need to talk. They were at the kitchen table. Dinner dishes cleared. Homework done. Normal evening about to become anything but. Am I in trouble? Talia asked immediately. No, baby. Nobody's in trouble. Faye sat down. Ari stood in the doorway, moral support. I need to tell you something important. About where you came from. Cade's eyes went serious. We came from your tummy. No, sweetheart, you didn't. Faye's throat tightened. I'm not your biological mother. Silence. What's biological? Cyrus asked. It means you didn't grow inside me. You had another mother, and a father. And something bad happened, and I found you, and I've been taking care of you ever since. Talia's lower lip trembled. You're not our mama. I am your mama. I'll always be your mama. But you have a biological father. Someone who's been looking for you, and he wants to meet you. I don't want to meet him, Talia said immediately. I want you. You have me. You'll always have me. But he's your dad, your real dad. You're real, Cade said fiercely. You're the realest person we have. Faye's eyes burned. I love you guys so much. And this man Harrison, he loves you too, even though he doesn't know you yet. He's been searching for you for a long time. Where was he before? Cyrus clutched Mr. Whiskers. Why didn't he find us sooner? He was sick, asleep, in a coma. But he's awake now, and he wants to be part of your lives. What if we don't want him? Talia's voice was small. Then we'll figure that out. But you have to meet him first. Tomorrow, he's coming here. To our house. Cade looked alarmed. Yes, at 4 p.m. Just to meet you, to talk, that's all. And then he'll leave? Cyrus asked. Faye couldn't lie. I don't know, baby. I don't know what happens after that. That night, 3 kids crawled into Faye's bed, something they hadn't done in months. They curled around her little bodies, pressed close, and Faye held them and tried not to think about losing them. At 3:55 p.m. the next day, Faye was losing her mind. She'd cleaned the apartment, bribed the kids into nice clothes, made Ari stay for backup, and now she was pacing, waiting for the knock that would change everything. Mama, you're making me nervous, Talia said from the couch. Sorry, baby. Is the rich man going to take us away? Cyrus asked. No, nobody's taking you anywhere. You can't promise that, Cade said, because Cade was 5 going on 30 and saw through everything. The knock came. Faye's heart stopped. She opened the door. Harrison stood there, and she barely recognized him. No suit, just jeans and a sweater, casual, trying to look non-threatening. In his hands, 3 wrapped presents. Hi. Hi. Faye stepped aside. Come in. He entered, looked around the small apartment, saw the worn furniture, the cramped space, the kids' drawings covering the fridge. His expression was unreadable. Then he saw them. 3 kids on the couch staring at him with wide eyes. Harrison went very still. His face did something complicated, joy and grief and love all at once. "Hi," he said softly. "I'm Harrison." Nobody responded. "These are for you." He held out the presents. "I wasn't sure what you liked, so I just guessed." Talia looked at Faye. "Can we take them?" "It's okay." Talia approached first, took her present. "Thank you." "You're welcome." Cade and Cyrus followed. Cade, suspicious Cyrus, hiding behind Mr. Whiskers. "Can we open them?" Talia asked. "Sure." Talia ripped into hers immediately. Inside a princess dress. Fancy, sparkly, probably cost more than Faye's rent. "Whoa," Talia breathed. Cyrus opened his next. Art supplies, professional grade. His eyes went huge. Cade opened his last. Books, a whole set. Advanced readers way above kindergarten level. "How did you know?" Cade asked. "Know what?" "That I like chapter books. Mama says I read too much." "There's no such thing as reading too much." Harrison smiled. "I liked books when I was your age too." Cade studied him. "Are you really our dad?" "Yes." "Where were you?" "I was sick, asleep. I couldn't come find you." "But you're better now." "Yes." "Good." Cade went back to examining his books. Harrison looked at Faye. His eyes were wet. "Thank you," he mouthed. She nodded. Couldn't speak. Watching this man, this stranger, interact with her children was surreal. "Can you stay for dinner?" Cyrus asked suddenly. Everyone looked at him. "We're having spaghetti," Cyrus continued. "Mama makes good spaghetti." Harrison glanced at Faye. "If that's okay." It wasn't okay. Nothing about this was okay. But Cyrus was looking at her with those pleading eyes, and Faye couldn't say no. "Okay. But just dinner." Dinner was awkward. Talia talked non-stop, showing off her princess dress. Cyrus was quiet, but kept sneaking glances at Harrison. Cade asked a million questions. "Where do you live? Do you have a dog? What's your favorite color? Do you know our birthday?" "July 15th, Harrison said. "I was there when you were born, all three of you. You came early." Cade first, then Talia. 2 minutes later, then Cyrus. Another 3 minutes after that. "I'm the baby." Cyrus looked delighted. "You're the baby." "Ha, Talia's not the youngest." "I'm the only girl. So I'm special anyway." "You're all special," Harrison said. His voice was thick. "You're the most special people in the world." After dinner, Harrison helped clean up. Stood at the sink next to Faye, washing dishes in her tiny kitchen. "They're amazing," he said quietly. "I know. You did an incredible job raising them." "Thanks." "I mean it, Faye. They're happy, healthy, smart. You gave them everything." "Not everything. I couldn't give them a father." Harrison was quiet for a moment. "Can I ask you something?" "Sure." "Do you regret it taking them in?" Faye looked at him, really looked at him, saw the fear behind the question. "Not for 1 second." He nodded. "Good. Neither do I." At 6:30, Harrison said goodbye. The kids hugged him, Talia enthusiastically, Cyrus shyly, Cade with reservation. When the door closed, Faye leaned against it and tried to breathe. "He's nice," Talia announced. "I like him." "Me too," Cyrus agreed. "He's okay," Cade said. Which from Cade was high praise. Faye's phone buzzed. Text from Harrison. "Thank you for today. They're perfect. Can I come back tomorrow?" She stared at the message. One visit had turned into a request for more. That's how it would go. 1 visit, then 2, then 3, until he was always there, and she was pushed out. But Cyrus had smiled at him. Talia had shown off. Cade had asked questions. They'd connected with their father in ways Faye couldn't fake or force. She typed back, "Tomorrow. Same time." That night, Ari found her crying in the bathroom. "You okay?" "No, he's going to take them." "You don't know that." "I do. He's rich, connected, their biological father, and I'm just me. You're their mom. For how much longer?" She looked at her brother. "The custody hearing is in 10 days. I don't have a lawyer. I don't have money. I don't have anything except 5 years of love, and the courts don't care about that." "Then we make them care." "How?" Ari didn't have an answer, because there wasn't one. Harrison came back the next day, and the day after, and the day after that. Each visit he bonded more with the kids, took them to the park, bought them ice cream, read them stories, watched them with an expression that broke Faye's heart every time. On the 5th visit, he brought someone new. An older couple. Elegant, wealthy, kind eyes. "These are my parents," Harrison said. "Margaret and Richard, your grandparents." The kids stared. "We have grandparents?" Talia asked. "You do now?" Margaret knelt down. "And we've been waiting so long to meet you." Richard pulled out his phone. "I have pictures of your grandmother when she was little. She looked just like you, Talia." And just like that, the Donnelly family began absorbing Faye's children into their world. Faye watched from the kitchen. Watched this wealthy, connected family swoop in with their presence and stories and unconditional love. Watched her children's faces light up, and knew she'd already lost. The custody hearing was in 5 days. Faye still didn't have a lawyer. Still didn't have money. Still didn't have anything except the sinking certainty that love wouldn't be enough. That night, Harrison asked to speak with her privately. They stood on the apartment building's fire escape city lights below, tension thick between them. "I have a proposal," Harrison said. "If it's joint custody." "It's not." He turned to face her. "Move in with us." Faye's brain short-circuited. "What?" "You and Ari. Move into my house. There's plenty of room. The kids need you. I'm not trying to replace you, but they need me too. So we do this together." "You can't be serious." "I'm completely serious. You're their mother. I'm their father. They need both of us." He ran a hand through his hair. "Look, I know this is crazy, but fighting in court helps nobody. The kids lose either way. This way they keep both of us. You want me to live with you, a stranger. For the kids, not forever. Just until we figure this out. Until they're adjusted. Until..." He stopped. "Please. I'm begging you. Don't make me take them away from the only mother they've known." Faye's throat tightened. "And if I say no, then I fight for full custody. And I win. Because I have money and lawyers and biological rights, and you lose them completely." His eyes were sad. "I don't want that, but I will protect my children. Even from you." It wasn't a threat, it was a promise, and Faye knew he meant it. "I need to think about it." "You have 3 days. Then the hearing happens and everything gets ugly." He left. Faye stood on the fire escape and tried to figure out how her life had become a hostage negotiation. Move in with Harrison Donnelly. Live in his house. Watch him be a father to her children. Give up her independence, her home, her life. Or lose them entirely. There was no choice at all. Faye called him at midnight. Couldn't sleep. Couldn't think. The decision was eating her alive. "Hello." Harrison's voice was alert. He hadn't been sleeping either. "I have conditions." "I'm listening." "I'm not your employee. I'm not your nanny. I'm their mother. Equal say in everything." "Agreed." "Ari comes too. Non-negotiable. I have 8 bedrooms. He can take his pick. The kids keep their routine, same school, same friends, same life, just different address. Whatever they need. And if this doesn't work, if you try to push me out or make me feel like a guest in my own home, I leave and we go to court. Understood?" Understood. He paused. Anything else? Yeah. Don't make me regret this. I won't. 3 days later, a moving truck pulled up to the Donnelly estate. Faye stared at the house mansion really and felt her stomach drop. Columns, manicured lawns, a circular driveway with a fountain. This wasn't a home, it was a statement. Holy shit, Ari breathed beside her. Language, Faye muttered automatically. Mama, is that a castle? Talia pressed her face against the car window. It's a house, baby. It's huge. Cade's eyes were wide. Do we get our own rooms? Yes. I don't want my own room, Cyrus said quietly. I want to stay with you. Faye's heart cracked. We'll figure it out, sweetheart. Harrison appeared at the front door. Behind him, Margaret and Richard. And behind them, staff. Actual staff. A housekeeper, a cook, a driver. This was insane. Welcome home, Harrison said. Home. Right. The kids ran inside immediately. Talia shrieking about the chandelier. Cade investigating every room. Cyrus clutching Mr. Whiskers and staying close to Faye. Your rooms are on the second floor, Harrison told Faye. East wing. I'm in the west wing. The kids are in the middle, connecting doors between their rooms and yours. You planned this. I hired a child psychologist. She said proximity to you was crucial for the transition. Of course he did. Rich people solved everything with money and experts. Margaret appeared with tea. Darling, you look exhausted. Why don't you rest? I'll show the children around. I'm fine. You're not fine. You're overwhelmed. Let us help. Faye wanted to refuse, wanted to keep control, but Talia was already dragging Margaret toward the kitchen asking about cookies. Cade was questioning Richard about the library. Cyrus was the only one still glued to her side. Okay, but just for an hour. She followed Harrison upstairs. He opened a door to a suite that was bigger than her entire apartment. King bed, sitting area, private bathroom with a tub that could fit 4 people. This is too much. This is yours, for as long as you need it. Harrison. I know this is hard. I know you don't want to be here, but you are, and I'm going to do everything I can to make this work. He met her eyes. For them. For them, she echoed. He left. Faye sat on the bed, which was probably worth more than her car, and tried not to cry. Ari found her 10 minutes later. Dude, my room has a balcony. A balcony. Good for you. You okay? No. I feel like I sold my soul. You protected your kids. That's different. Is it? Ari sat beside her. We're going to be fine. This is temporary, just until things settle. Then we figure out next steps. But Faye couldn't shake the feeling that there were no next steps, that she'd walked into a golden cage and the door was already locked. Dinner that first night was awkward. The dining room table sat 12. The kids looked tiny at one end, Faye, Ari, and Harrison at the other, Margaret and Richard in the middle trying to bridge the gap. This is weird, Cade announced. Cade? Faye hissed. What? It is. We're eating with fancy plates and there's like 6 forks. Why do we need 6 forks? Harrison smiled. You don't. Use whatever fork you want. Can I use my hands? Cade? Sure, Harrison said. It's just family. No rules. Family. The word landed heavy. After dinner, the kids wanted to explore more. Harrison offered to show them the pool, the home theater, the game room that was bigger than most people's houses. This is too much, Faye told him. They're going to get spoiled. They're 5. Let them enjoy it. Easy for you to say. You didn't spend 5 years teaching them that money doesn't buy happiness. Money doesn't buy happiness, but it does buy security, safety, opportunity. He looked at her. Things you couldn't give them. The words stung because they were true. I gave them love. I know, and that's why they're amazing, but they deserve both. Love and security. Can't we give them that together? Before Faye could answer, Cyrus appeared. Mama, I don't like my room. Why not, baby? It's too big. I'm scared. Faye knelt down. You want to sleep with me tonight? He nodded. Okay, come on. As she led Cyrus away, she heard Harrison sigh, probably thinking she was babying them. Probably right. But Cyrus slept curled against her that night, and Faye didn't care what anyone thought. The first week was chaos. The kids adjusted faster than Faye expected. Talia loved the pool. Cade devoured the library. Cyrus spent hours in the art room Harrison had set up. Meanwhile, Faye felt like a ghost. Staff cleaned everything before she could. Meals appeared without her cooking. The kids' needs were met before she could meet them. I'm useless here, she told Ari. You're not useless. You're just adjusting. I'm being replaced. By what money? That's not a replacement for a mother. But it felt like it. Harrison tried to include her in everything. Asked her opinion on the kids' schedules. Deferred to her on discipline. Made sure everyone knew she was the authority. But the staff looked at him when they had questions. His parents consulted him first. Even the kids started running to him for things they used to ask her. Harrison, can we get a dog? Harrison, can we stay up late? Harrison, will you read us a story? It was death by 1,000 small cuts. 2 weeks in, Margaret found Faye crying in the kitchen at 2 a.m. Darling, what's wrong? Nothing, I'm fine. You're not fine. Talk to me. Faye looked at this elegant, wealthy woman who'd been nothing but kind. I don't belong here. Of course you do. You're their mother. But you're their grandmother. Harrison's their father. Richard's their grandfather. And I'm just the woman who found them. The placeholder until the real family showed up. Margaret sat down, took Faye's hands. Listen to me. You are not a placeholder. You saved my grandchildren's lives. You raised them when nobody else would. You loved them when they had nothing. Her eyes were fierce. You are the real family, and don't let anyone make you feel otherwise. Harrison doesn't need me. The kids don't need me. I'm just taking up space in a house that isn't mine. Do you want to know what Cyrus told me yesterday? Faye shook her head, but Margaret continued anyway. He said, Grandma, I love this house, but I miss Mama's hugs. They're different here. Do you know why they're different? No. Because you're scared, holding back, afraid to take up space. Margaret squeezed her hands. This is your home now. Act like it. Those children need their mother. The real one, not some timid version afraid to make waves. The words hit like a slap, a necessary one. I don't know how to be myself here. Then learn, and I'll help you. Things shifted after that. Faye stopped asking permission, started making decisions, told the cook what the kids liked for breakfast, rearranged their rooms, implemented bedtime routines, and Harrison let her, stepped back, gave her space to be the mother she'd always been. Thank you, she told him one night after the kids were asleep. For what? For not trying to replace me. I could never replace you, even if I wanted to. He smiled. You're irreplaceable, Faye. Something warm flickered in her chest. Something dangerous. She ignored it. 3 weeks in Harrison had a business dinner. Important clients. He asked Faye to attend. Why? Because they'll ask about my family, and you're part of that now. I'm not your wife. No, but you're my children's mother. That matters. So Faye put on a dress she'd borrowed from Margaret because all her clothes were clearance rack specials and tried not to feel like an imposter. The restaurant was the kind where appetizers cost $50. Faye's anxiety spiked. Just follow my lead, Harrison whispered. You'll be fine. The clients were nice enough. Asked about the kids, complimented Harrison on finding them. Didn't ask too many questions about where they'd been. Then dessert arrived with someone Faye hadn't expected. A woman. Stunning. Designer dress. Dripping diamonds. She walked straight to their table and kissed Harrison's cheek. Harrison, darling, I heard you were back. Harrison's whole body tensed. Donna. Donna. That name meant something. Faye could feel it. Aren't you going to introduce me to your friend? Donna's eyes raked over Faye with thinly veiled contempt. This is Faye Chen. She's the nanny. Donna's laugh was sharp. How progressive. Bringing the help to business dinners. She's not the nanny. She's the children's mother. Donna's smile froze. Mother. But I thought Emma. Emma died. The children were taken. Faye found them and raised them. Harrison's voice was ice. What do you want, Donna? Just to say hello, to see how you're doing. She touched his arm. We should have coffee. Catch up. I've missed you. I've been in a coma. I know. I visited every week. Something about the way she said it made Faye's skin crawl. Harrison stood. We're leaving. Gentlemen, we'll continue this another time. He took Faye's arm and guided her out. In the car, his jaw was clenched tight. Who was that? Nobody important. Harrison. My ex-girlfriend, from before Emma. We didn't end well. She visited you in the hospital. Apparently. That's not weird to you. He looked at her. Everything about the last 5 years is weird to me. Fair point. But something about Donna bothered Faye. The way she'd looked at Harrison. Possessive, hungry, dangerous. Is she going to be a problem? No, she's harmless. Faye had dealt with enough mean girls in her life to know women like Donna were never harmless. Donna showed up at the house 2 days later, just appeared at the front door with a gift basket and a smile that didn't reach her eyes. I came to apologize for the other night. I was rude. Faye stood in the doorway. Didn't invite her in. Okay. And I brought gifts for the children. They're at school. Oh, well, maybe I could wait. That's not a good idea. Donna's smile sharpened. You don't like me. I don't know you. But you don't like me, I can tell. She leaned closer. Let me give you some advice, sweetheart. Harrison Donnelly is out of your league, way out. You're playing house now, but eventually he'll remember who he is, and you'll go back to being nobody. I think you should leave. I'm not trying to be cruel. I'm being honest. Harrison and I have history, real history. You're just a phase, a charity case he'll get tired of. Leave, now. Donna's eyes flashed. You don't belong here. Everyone knows it. His parents are too polite to say it. He's too grateful to admit it. But you're temporary. And when he's done with you, I'll be here. She left. Faye closed the door and leaned against it, shaking. Margaret appeared from the sitting room. That woman is poison. You heard? Every word. Don't listen to her, darling. She's jealous and desperate. Why would she be jealous of me? Because Harrison looks at you the way he never looked at her. Faye's heart stuttered. He doesn't. He does, and she sees it. That's why she's scared. But Faye pushed the thought away. Harrison didn't look at her anyway, except as his children's mother. That's all this was. Co-parenting. Donna didn't stop. She showed up at the kids' school, at the park, at the grocery store, always with that smile, always with subtle digs. You look tired. This lifestyle must be exhausting for someone. Not used to it. Those are the kids' real uniforms. How practical. I'm sure Harrison appreciates having live-in help. So convenient. Faye ignored her, but it was getting harder. Then Donna escalated. Faye found a manila envelope on her car one afternoon. No return address. Inside photos. Of her old apartment. Of her in scrubs at the hospital. Of her struggling with 3 kids at the grocery store. And a note. Is this really the life Harrison wants for his children? Think about it. Faye showed Harrison that night. His face went dark. She's threatening you. She's just trying to scare me. It's working. You're shaking. I'm angry, not scared. Harrison pulled out his phone. Made a call. Marcus, I need you to look into Donna Castellano. Everything. I want to know what she's been doing for the last 5 years. He hung up. This ends now. You don't have to. Yes, I do. Nobody threatens my family. Family. There was that word again. Marcus's report came back 3 days later. Harrison read it in his office. Faye watched his face go from concerned to horrified. What? What is it? Donna was in debt 5 years ago. Massive debt. Gambling problem. She was facing bankruptcy. So 2 days after the accident that killed Emma, $2 million appeared in her account. From an offshore account we can't trace. Faye's blood ran cold. You think I think someone paid her to do something, and the timing is too perfect to be coincidence. What are you saying? Harrison looked at her, and his eyes were haunted. I'm saying my ex-girlfriend might have been involved in my children's disappearance. The room spun. You need to call the police. With what proof? A bank transfer, that's not enough. Then we get more proof. How? Faye thought fast. We set a trap. We make her think she's won, and we get her to confess. Harrison stared at her. That's dangerous. So is letting her walk free. She tried to kill your children once. What's stopping her from trying again? The words hung between them. Okay, Harrison said finally. We set a trap, but you stay out of it. If she's capable of what I think she's capable of, I'm not staying out of anything. Those are my kids too. Faye? Don't. We do this together or not at all. He studied her for a long moment, then nodded. Together. They planned it carefully. Harrison would reach out to Donna, suggest coffee, hint that things with Faye weren't working, that he was reconsidering everything. Meanwhile, Faye would play the heartbroken nanny. Pack bags. Make it look like she was leaving. She'll gloat, Marcus said, setting up recording equipment. That's when people slip, when they think they've won. And if she doesn't confess, then we've lost nothing but time. The meeting was set for Thursday afternoon, a cafe downtown. Marcus had people in place, cameras, audio, everything they needed. Faye watched Harrison leave and felt sick. What if Donna didn't take the bait? What if this backfired? What if Mama? She turned. Cade stood in the doorway. Why are you packing? Shit. She'd forgotten the bags were visible. I'm not packing, baby, just reorganizing. You're a bad liar. He crossed his arms. Are you leaving? No, never. Promise? Faye knelt down, looked him in the eye. I promise. I'm not going anywhere. This is a misunderstanding. Good. Because Cyrus will cry if you leave, and Talia will be mad. And I... His voice went small. I'll be sad. Faye pulled him close. I love you. So much. You know that, right? I know. I love you too. He left. Faye sat on the floor and prayed this plan worked. At the cafe, Harrison ordered coffee and waited. Donna arrived 15 minutes late, looking perfect, smiling like she'd already won. Harrison, thank you for calling. I needed to talk to someone who understands. Understands what? The pressure, the expectations. Emma came from money. She understood this life. But Faye... He sighed, playing his part. She tries, but she doesn't fit. My parents see it. I see it. Donna's eyes lit up. You're finally admitting it. It's been hard. The children love her, but love isn't enough. They need stability. Someone from their world. Someone like me. Maybe. Donna leaned forward. I never stopped loving you, Harrison. Even when you married Emma, I knew we'd find our way back to each other. Emma's death was convenient for you. The words hung there. Dangerous. Donna's smile didn't waver. Convenient. What a terrible thing to say. But true. She was in the way, and then suddenly she wasn't. Accidents happen. Do they? Or do people make them happen? Silence. Donna's eyes narrowed. What are you implying? I'm not implying anything. I'm asking directly. Did you have something to do with Emma's death? With my children disappearing? That's insane. Is it because I found the money? $2 million. Offshore account. Deposited 2 days after the accident. Donna's face went white. Who paid you? Donna, who wanted my family dead. I don't know what you're talking about. I think you do. I think someone paid you to sabotage Emma's car, to take my children, to make it all disappear. Harrison's voice was cold. Tell me I'm wrong. Donna stood abruptly. This conversation is over. Sit down. Or what you'll call the police, with what evidence? With this. Harrison held up his phone, recording light blinking. Every word, on tape. Donna's face twisted into something ugly. You bastard! Did you kill my wife? I didn't kill anyone, I made arrangements. She was supposed to be scared. That's all. Just scared enough to leave you. And the children. That wasn't me, I swear. Someone else took them. Someone I didn't know. The plan was just to make Emma leave. To give us a chance. But then everything went wrong and... She stopped. Realized she'd said too much. Who else? Harrison demanded. Who took my children? I don't know. They never told me I just got paid to disable the car's brakes and... She clapped a hand over her mouth. Too late. Marcus stepped out from behind the counter. Police followed. Donna's face crumbled as she realized the trap. No, this isn't... I didn't mean... Donna Castellano, you're under arrest for conspiracy to commit murder. They cuffed her, read her rights. She was screaming the whole time. That it was a misunderstanding. That Harrison had tricked her. That she loved him. Harrison watched face blank as they took her away. Marcus clapped his shoulder. We got her. But not the person who took the kids. We'll find them. This is the first real lead we've had in 5 years. Harrison nodded, but his eyes were distant. My children were in a dumpster because of a woman who claimed to love me. That's not love, that's obsession. It almost killed them. At home, Faye waited, pacing, checking her phone every 30 seconds. When she finally heard Harrison's car, she ran outside. He got out slowly, looked exhausted. Did it work? She confessed. Everything. The police have her. Oh, thank God. Faye's knees went weak with relief. She sabotaged Emma's car, caused the accident, but someone else took the children. She doesn't know who. So we're not done. No, we're not done. He looked at her. I'm sorry. For what? For bringing this into your life. For dragging you into my mess. You and the kids deserve better than... Faye stepped forward and hugged him. Hard. He froze, then slowly wrapped his arms around her. We're in this together, she said. Remember. Together, he echoed. They stood there in the driveway holding each other, while above them the kids watched from the window. Are they hugging? Talia asked. Yeah, Cade said. Does that mean Mama's staying? I think so. Good, I like it when we're all here. Cyrus pressed his hand against the glass. Me too. That night all 3 kids insisted on sleeping in Faye's room. They piled into her bed, arguing over space, kicking each other, being normal. Harrison appeared in the doorway. Need help? You can try. He sat on the edge of the bed. Talia immediately climbed onto his lap. Tell us a story, she demanded. What kind of story? A happy one, where everyone stays together. Harrison's eyes met Faye's over 3 small heads. Once upon a time, he began, there was a family that was broken, scattered, lost, but they found their way back to each other. Because love is stronger than anything, stronger than time, stronger than distance, stronger than fear. Did they live happily ever after? Cyrus asked. They're working on it, Harrison said, every single day. And in that moment, in that room with 3 children between them, Faye realized something terrifying. She was falling in love with Harrison Donnelly, the man who could take everything from her, the man who'd given her everything she never knew she needed, the man who was looking at her right now like she was the answer to every question he'd ever asked. She looked away first, too scared to face what that look meant, but the warmth in her chest remained, growing, spreading, becoming something she couldn't ignore much longer. Outside in a prison cell downtown, Donna Castellano made a phone call. "They know," she hissed. "They know everything. You need to—" "Silence," a cold voice interrupted. "You've done enough damage. But they'll find you. They'll figure it out. Let them try." The call ended. Donna stared at her phone, and for the first time realized she'd been a pawn in a much bigger game. One that wasn't over yet. The call Donna made haunted Harrison for days. Marcus traced it to a burner phone. Dead end. Whoever was behind this knew how to cover their tracks. "We're missing something," Harrison said, staring at the case files spread across his office desk. "Someone with access to the hospital. Someone who knew Emma just gave birth. Someone who wanted us destroyed." Faye sat across from him, coffee in hand. It was 2 a.m. Neither of them could sleep. "Who benefits from your children disappearing?" "Nobody. We had no enemies. Emma was beloved. I was just starting the company." "Wait, just starting." Faye leaned forward. "Who ran Donnelly Industries before you?" Harrison went very still. "My uncle, Victor Donnelly." "Where is he now?" "Retired. Lives in Europe. We haven't spoken in years." "Why not?" "Because I took over the company instead of his son, my cousin Bradley. Victor never forgave me for that." Faye's gut twisted. "Harrison, what if—" "No. Victor's vindictive, but he wouldn't." Harrison stopped, his face drained of color. "Oh my God, the inheritance clause." "What clause?" "In my grandfather's will. If I die without heirs, the company reverts to Victor's line, to Bradley." He stood abruptly. "If my children disappeared, if I never woke from the coma, Bradley inherits everything. We need to call Marcus. I'm calling my lawyer first." Patricia Cheng answered on the first ring. Lawyers never sleep, apparently. Harrison explained everything. Her silence was telling. "Mr. Donnelly, I need to pull some documents, but if you're right, this is attempted murder, multiple counts." "Can you prove it? Give me 48 hours." Harrison hung up, looked at Faye. "If I'm right, my uncle tried to kill my family for money." "Then we stop him." "We, Faye, this is dangerous. You and the kids need protection." "We have protection. You. And I'm not going anywhere." She stood, walked around the desk, took his hands. "We're in this together. Stop trying to protect me from your life." "I almost got you killed once already." "Donna did that, not you." She squeezed his hands. "I'm not fragile. I'm not breakable. I'm a mother who will do anything to protect her children. Our children. So stop treating me like I'm made of glass." Something shifted in Harrison's eyes. Heat. Want. Something that made Faye's breath catch. "Faye." A crash from upstairs. They both ran. Found Cyrus in the hallway crying, a broken lamp beside him. "I had a nightmare. The bad people came back." Faye scooped him up. "Shh, baby. It's okay. Nobody's coming." "But Mama, what if they do? What if they take us away again?" "They won't. I promise." "How do you know?" "Because your father and I won't let them." Cyrus looked at Harrison. "You promise too." "I promise. Nobody's taking you anywhere. Ever." Talia appeared, rubbing her eyes. Then Cade. Both had heard the crash. "Can we all sleep together?" Talia asked. "Like we used to at the old apartment." Faye glanced at Harrison. He nodded. "Yeah, baby. We can." They ended up in the master bedroom, Harrison's room. All 5 of them piled into a bed that somehow still felt crowded. Kids in the middle, Faye and Harrison on either side like bookends. "This is nice," Cyrus mumbled, already half asleep. "Yeah," Kate agreed. "We should do this every night." "Every night might be too much," Faye started. "I don't mind," Harrison said quietly. "If you don't." Their eyes met over 3 sleeping children. The moment stretched, held. "I don't mind," Faye whispered. They fell asleep like that. A family, real and whole and terrifying in its fragility. Patricia called at 7 a.m. Harrison took it in the bathroom, trying not to wake everyone. "I found it. Emails between Victor and Bradley. They knew about the inheritance clause. They hired someone to take the children after the accident." "Someone?" "A hospital orderly, Robert Chen. He's disappeared, but I found bank records. $500,000 paid to him the day after the children vanished." Harrison's heart stopped. "Chen. Why do you know him?" "That's Faye's last name." Silence on the line. "Mr. Donnelly, is there any chance?" No, it's coincidence. It has to be." "I'll look into it, but we have enough to bring charges against Victor and Bradley. I'm contacting the DA now." Harrison hung up, walked back to the bedroom. Faye was awake, watching the kids sleep. "What's wrong?" she asked immediately. "They found who took the kids. A hospital orderly named Robert Chen." Faye's face went white. "What? You know him?" That's my cousin, my mother's nephew." She stood shaking. "But that's impossible. Robert moved to California years ago. He wasn't even in the city when... When was the last time you saw him?" "I don't know. Christmas 2018. Maybe?" Her hands were trembling. "Harrison, I swear I didn't know. I would never." I know you wouldn't." He pulled her close. "But we need to find him. My mother might know where he is." "Will she talk to you?" Faye laughed bitterly. "Only one way to find out." The visit to Mei Chun was tense. She answered the door with a scowl that deepened when she saw Faye. "What do you want?" "I need to find Robert." "Why?" "He's in trouble. Serious trouble." May's eyes narrowed. "What kind of trouble?" "The kind that involves kidnapping and attempted murder." "That's ridiculous. Robert's a good boy." "He's a criminal, Mom. He took 3 babies from a hospital for money. Those babies, the ones I raised." Faye's voice shook. "The ones you tried to sell." May's face went pale. "I didn't try to sell them. I tried to find them proper homes." "No, you tried to erase them, because they were inconvenient, because they made you look bad." Faye stepped closer. Did you know Robert took them?" "Of course not." "Then help me find him, before the police do." May stared at her daughter, finally sighed. "He's in Arizona, Scottsdale. I have an address." She wrote it down, handed it over. As Faye turned to leave, May spoke again. "I'm sorry." Faye stopped, didn't turn around. "For what?" "For not being the mother you needed. For choosing my pride over my daughter. For..." Her voice broke. "For everything." "I know. Can you forgive me?" Faye turned, looked at her mother, saw an old woman who'd made terrible choices and lived with them. Eventually, maybe, but not today. She left. Harrison was waiting in the car. "Arizona," Faye said. "We need to go to Arizona. I'll have the jet ready in an hour." Private jet. Right. Faye still wasn't used to that. They left the kids with Margaret and Richard. Promised to be back by dinner. Didn't mention why they were leaving. On the plane, Faye couldn't sit still. Paced. Worried. What if he runs? He won't. He doesn't know we're coming. What if he's dangerous? Marcus is meeting us there. And I've hired security. We're not going in alone. I can't believe my own family. Her voice broke. Harrison pulled her down beside him. This isn't your fault. He's my cousin. My blood. How did I not know he was capable of... Because people hide who they really are. Trust me, I was in love with someone for 2 years and didn't know she was a monster. He touched her face. You're nothing like them. Nothing. How do you know? Because I see you. Every day. With the kids. With me. You're the best person I've ever met, Faye. Don't let your family make you doubt that. The warmth in his eyes was too much. Too real. Faye looked away before she did something stupid like kiss him. Scottsdale was hot. Desert hot. They found Robert's apartment in a rundown complex on the edge of town. Marcus knocked. No answer. He's running, Faye said. Not fast enough. Marcus pointed. A man matching Robert's description was climbing out a back window. Go! They chased him through the complex. Robert was fast, but Harrison was faster. Tackled him in the parking lot. Get off me. Robert Chen, you're under arrest for kidnapping and conspiracy. I didn't kidnap anyone, I was paid to relocate them. Relocate. Harrison hauled him up. You left 3 newborns in a dumpster to die. That wasn't supposed to happen. I was supposed to drop them at a safe house. But the address they gave me was fake, and I panicked and... Robert saw Faye. His eyes went wide. Faye, what are you doing here? You took Harrison's children. You left them to die, and I found them. You raised them. Yes. Robert's face crumpled. Oh God, I didn't mean for anyone to get hurt. They said the kids would be adopted, given good homes. I needed the money. I had gambling debts, and they said, who said Harrison demanded? Who paid you? I don't know. I never met them. Everything was phone calls and wire transfers. That's not good enough. I swear I got a call from someone claiming to work for Victor Donnelly. They said you wanted the kids gone quietly. You thought I wanted my own children killed. I thought you wanted them adopted. Robert broke down. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I made a terrible mistake. Marcus called the police. Robert was arrested. Faye watched him go and felt nothing. No anger, no satisfaction, just exhaustion. It's over, Harrison said. Is it? Victor and Bradley are being arrested as we speak. Donna's testifying against them in exchange for a reduced sentence. It's over. But Faye couldn't shake the feeling that something was still wrong. They flew back, retrieved the kids from Margaret's. Everything seemed normal. Fine. Until Faye woke at 3 a.m. to an empty bed. The kids were gone. She ran into the hallway. Harrison. He appeared from his room, gun in hand. What's wrong? The kids. They're not in my room. They searched frantically. Every room, every closet, panic rising with each empty space. Then Faye heard it, giggling. From the game room, she ran, Harrison behind her. All 3 kids were inside, playing video games, with a man Faye had never seen before. Who the hell are you? Harrison raised the gun. The man turned. Mid-40s, expensive suit, cold eyes. Hello, nephew. It's been a while. Victor Donnelly. How did you get in here? I own half this company. Did you really think I didn't have keys? Victor smiled. Lovely children. They look like Emma. Get away from them, or what you'll shoot me in front of your kids. Victor knelt down. Hello, little ones. I'm your great-uncle Victor. We don't know you, Cade said, protective instincts already kicking in. No, but I know you. I've been watching you for 5 years, waiting. For what? Harrison's hand was shaking on the gun. For the perfect moment, when you'd built your little family, when you'd fallen in love with this woman. Victor's eyes cut to Faye. When you had something to lose again. The police are coming for you. You're done. Am I? Where's your proof emails? Those were Bradley's computer. He'll take the fall. Phone records, burner phones, untraceable. You've got nothing on me. He stood. But I've got everything on you. Breaking and entering, assault, witness intimidation. I'm a victim here. You tried to kill my children. Did I? Or did a desperate orderly with gambling debts make a terrible mistake? Who can say? Victor walked toward the door. Harrison blocked him. Move, or I call the police and report that you threatened me with a weapon. In front of children, no less. Harrison's jaw clenched, but he lowered the gun. Victor smiled. Smart boy. That's why your grandfather chose you. You know when you're beaten. He paused at the door. Enjoy your little family while it lasts, because I promise you I will destroy it. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually. His eyes found Faye. Everyone you love will suffer because of what you took from me. He left. Harrison immediately called Marcus, called his lawyer, called the police. But Victor was right. There was no evidence tying him directly to anything. He's going to come after us again, Faye said. The kids were finally back in bed. She and Harrison were in the kitchen, dawn breaking outside. He won't stop. I know. So what do? We live our lives. We protect our family. We don't let him win. Harrison turned to face her. And we do it together. Officially. What? Harrison took her hands. Marry me. Faye's brain short-circuited. What? I love you. I'm in love with you. I have been for weeks, maybe longer. And I know this is terrible timing, and we're both exhausted, and there's a homicidal uncle planning our demise, but... He laughed. I can't imagine my life without you. The kids can't. We're already a family. Let's make it legal. Harrison, I know you're scared. I'm terrified, but I'd rather be terrified with you than safe without you. This is insane. I know. Your uncle literally just threatened us. I know. We've only lived together for 2 months. I don't care. He pulled her closer. I love you, Faye Chen. Marry me, please. Faye looked at this man, this impossible, wonderful, infuriating man who'd crashed into her life and turned everything upside down, who loved her children like his own, who looked at her like she was magic. Okay. Yes, I'll marry you, you crazy, reckless billionaire. He kissed her, finally, after weeks of dancing around it. The kiss was desperate and sweet and tasted like coffee and hope. When they broke apart, 3 kids were standing in the doorway. Are you kissing? Talia's voice was delighted. Does this mean you're getting married? Kate asked. Yes, Harrison said, not taking his eyes off Faye. Is that okay with you guys? Yes? Talia jumped up and down. I get to be a flower girl. I want to carry the rings, Cyrus said. I want a dog, Kate added. Harrison laughed. One thing at a time. They had breakfast together, all 5 of them, like a real family. Margaret and Richard showed up, and Faye told them about the engagement. Margaret cried. Richard opened champagne at 8 a.m. When's the wedding? Margaret asked. Soon, Harrison said. As soon as possible. Why rush? Richard asked. Harrison's eyes met Faye's. Because Victor was out there. Because life was short. Because they'd already wasted too much time. Because we don't want to wait, Faye said. They planned the wedding for 2 weeks later. Small ceremony. Just family and close friends. The kids were more excited than anyone. But Faye couldn't shake the dread. Victor's threat hung over everything. She hired her own investigator, dug into Victor's life. There had to be something, some proof, some way to stop him. 3 days before the wedding, she found it. Victor's assistant, a woman named Helen who'd worked for him for 20 years. Faye tracked her down at a coffee shop. I don't have anything to say to you. Please, 5 minutes. Helen hesitated, then sat. 5 minutes. You know what Victor did. You've known for years. I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, you do. You helped him, covered for him, but you never wanted to hurt anyone, did you? Helen's hands shook on her coffee cup. I had no choice. There's always a choice. Help me stop him, before he hurts someone else. He'll destroy me. He's already destroyed so many lives. Emma Donnelly, 3 innocent babies, Robert Chen. How many more before you say enough? Tears rolled down Helen's face. I kept records, everything. Emails, phone transcripts, wire transfer receipts. I knew one day he'd go too far and I'd need insurance. Will you testify? If you promise to protect me. I promise. Helen handed over a flash drive. Everything's on there, every terrible thing he's ever done, not just to your family, to dozens of people over 30 years. Faye took the drive with shaking hands. Thank you. I should have done this years ago. I'm sorry. You're doing it now. That's what matters. Faye gave the drive to Patricia. 2 days later, Victor Donnelly was arrested. The charges were extensive: conspiracy to commit murder, fraud, embezzlement, wire fraud. The list went on. He wouldn't see freedom again in his lifetime. The wedding happened on a perfect October day, the same month Faye had found the kids 5 years earlier. Full circle. Faye wore a simple dress. Nothing fancy. She wasn't a princess, just a woman marrying the man she loved. The kids walked her down the aisle, Kate on one side, Talia and Cyrus on the other. Harrison stood at the altar and cried when he saw them. The vows were short, sweet, promises they'd already been keeping for months. I promise to love you, protect you, annoy you with my overprotectiveness, and never let you forget that you saved my life in more ways than one. I promise to love you, challenge you, remind you that I'm not fragile when you start treating me like glass, and never let you forget that we're partners, equal, always. I now pronounce you husband and wife. They kissed. The kids cheered. Margaret sobbed. Richard popped more champagne. At the reception, Cade gave a speech. 5 years old and already more eloquent than most adults. My mama saved us. Then my dad found us. Now we're all together. That's called a happy ending. Except it's not an ending. It's a beginning. He raised his juice box. To beginnings. Everyone raised their glasses. To beginnings. That night after the kids were asleep and the guests had left, Harrison and Faye stood on their bedroom balcony. You okay? He asked. Yeah, just thinking about how different life was 5 years ago. Regrets? Not one. She leaned into him. You? Only that I missed the first 5 years. You'll be there for the next 50. 50, I'm planning on at least 60. She laughed, kissed him, let herself believe that everything would be okay. 6 months later, Faye found out she was pregnant. Triplets. Again. Because apparently her body had a sense of humor. Are you kidding me? She said, staring at the ultrasound. The doctor laughed. Congratulations. Faye called Harrison from the clinic. We need to talk. What's wrong? Nothing's wrong. But, remember how we said 3 kids was enough? Yes. Funny story about that. When she told him, Harrison sat down. Hard. 6 kids. 6 kids. We're going to need a bigger house. We have an 8-bedroom mansion. Still, bigger house. But he was smiling. That ridiculous, overwhelming, terrified smile of a man who'd just won the lottery. The kids were thrilled. Talia immediately claimed the babies would be girls. Cade was certain they'd be boys. Cyrus just wanted to make sure they'd still love him. We'll always love you, Faye promised. Nothing changes that. Not even 3 more? Not even 30 more. The pregnancy was hard. Carrying 3 babies always was. But Harrison was there for everything. Midnight cravings, hormone-induced crying jags, the fear that something would go wrong. What if I can't do this? Faye asked one night. She was 7 months along and could barely move. You can. You did it once already. That was different. I was younger. More energetic. You're 32, not ancient. And you have help now. Me. Ari. My parents. Staff. You're not doing this alone. Promise. I promise. The babies came at 34 weeks. Early but healthy. 2 girls and a boy. They named them Emma, after Harrison's late wife Grace and James. Cade, Talia, and Cyrus met their siblings with awe. They're so tiny, Talia whispered. We were that tiny once, Cade said. I don't remember being tiny, Cyrus said. Harrison laughed. Put an arm around his first 3. You'll always be my babies, all 6 of you. Even when we're grown up, Talia asked. Even then. Life became beautiful chaos. 6 kids, 2 parents, 1 very tired uncle who'd signed up to help with 3 kids and got 6. Margaret and Richard moved closer, became permanent fixtures. Built-in babysitters, and endless sources of wisdom. Faye quit the hospital, focused on raising their small army. Harrison adjusted his schedule, worked from home most days. They were partners in everything. Some nights when the kids were finally asleep and the house was quiet, Harrison would find Faye in the nursery, watching 3 babies sleep. Thinking about that night, he'd ask. Always. Any regrets? Not one. He'd wrap his arms around her. They'd stand there. 2 people who'd found each other in the most impossible way. 2 people who'd built a family from broken pieces. I love you, he'd say. I love you too. And somewhere in the city, in a cemetery under old trees, Emma Donnelly's grave stood decorated with fresh flowers. Every week. Like clockwork. Because Faye never forgot that these children came from love. That Emma had carried them. Loved them. Died for them. Thank you, Faye would whisper to the headstone. For giving them life. For making them who they are. I promise to love them enough for both of us. The years passed. The kids grew. Cade became serious and studious. Talia fierce and brave. Cyrus gentle and artistic. Emma, Grace, and James developed their own personalities, their own dreams. And through it all, Faye and Harrison loved each other, fought sometimes, laughed often, built a life that neither of them could have imagined that rainy November night when everything changed. 10 years after finding the babies in the dumpster, Faye stood in the Donnelly mansion garden, watching 9 kids play, 6 of theirs, 3 of their friends, chaos and joy and noise. Harrison came up behind her, wrapped his arms around her waist, happy, deliriously. Any idea our life would turn out like this? Not even close. Would you change anything? Faye thought about it. About the poverty and struggle, the fear and uncertainty, the impossible choices, the pain of loving children who might be taken away. No, I wouldn't change a single thing, because all of it led to this, to us, to them. Even the dumpster. Especially the dumpster, because that's where I found my purpose, my family, my life. Harrison kissed her temple. You're incredible, you know that. I'm just a nurse who made a choice. You're a mother who saved 3 babies and ended up saving me too. Talia ran over. 15 now, beautiful and confident. Mom, Dad Cade's being annoying again. Cade's always annoying, Cyrus shouted. It's his natural state. I am not annoying, Cade yelled back. I'm intellectually superior. Faye laughed. That's my cue. She walked toward the chaos. Her chaos. Her beautiful, messy, perfect chaos. Behind her, Harrison smiled, pulled out his phone, took a picture. Not of the kids. Of Faye. Walking toward the family she'd built from nothing. He'd frame it. Put it in his office. Look at it on hard days and remember love was the greatest miracle of all. The babies who'd been thrown away were now thriving teenagers. The nurse who'd saved them was now his wife. The family that had been shattered was now whole. And somewhere beyond sight and sound, Emma Donnelly smiled. Because her children were loved, protected, happy. That's all any mother could ask for. That's all that mattered. Everything else was just details.